Hello and welcome to this holiday edition of Orion Today. I'm Joe Johnson, and once again I'm joined by Tracy Woodrum of Tea with Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Are you in full swing? Is the tree up? Are you listening to music in your car?
All of the above. The tree is up. The mantle is decorated. Most of the shopping is done.
Wow.
Yeah, none of the wrapping yet, but yeah, holiday music. Yeah, I'm in the spirit. I'm in the mood. So
I tried to separate Thanksgiving from Christmas, so I don't listen to the music and everything until Thanksgiving is done. And then that weekend the tree goes up.
Yes.
We go over to WNIC, who plays Christmas music 24 hours and trying to get into the spirit of the holidays.
Yep, I do the same. I'm the same. Before Thanksgiving, it's like I like to enjoy Thanksgiving. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah.
Because it's very simple. It's just time spent with family, food, football. I mean,
exactly.
Is there a better day?
Yeah, and the Lions, there's actually something to be thankful for.
Yes,
the Lions are playing
the
well.
season
is they lost on Thanksgiving, but they gave Buffalo a really good game.
They did. It was close. It was close.
Yeah,
I really thought they were going to pull it out there. But
so it's fun. As long as they're entertaining, that's fun.
Yes.
I know a lot of people ask me, it's the holiday season, things must be slow for you at ONTV. No, it's the exact opposite.
Right.
There is so much going on in the community with fundraisers and events and parades and festivals.
Yes.
Have you been to anything yet?
Well, the parade, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, the parade on Saturday was fantastic, as always. Actually got to bring my brother and his family for the first time. I was like, how have I lived right in downtown for 11 years and it's your first time? But my niece and her friend loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. They had to high five every character that went by in the parade.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know what's interesting? When I first came out here to Lake Orion, I think it was 93, 94, I shot video of the last daytime parade, and it wasn't very well attended. The crowd was a little sparse. So the parade organizers said, we need to do something. And so the next year, they went with the lighted nighttime parade, and the streets were packed.
Yes.
And they've been doing it for over 25 years now. I think it's like year 27 or something.
It's the best. It really is fantastic. I mean, you can go to a lot of daytime parades, but a night parade with all the lights, it's got a great feel to it. Yeah.
So. And we have video coming up in a second, but before we get to that, here in Lake Orion, the holiday season sort of officially gets underway with the DDA's Sing and Stroll and tree lighting ceremony. Have you had a chance to go to that yet?
Not this year, but I have been to it. Yeah, many years. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Santa and Mrs. Claus were over at Children's Park. There was music and dancing, and even the Orion Township Library was there doing story time. They had a big screen with the book projected on it. There it is right there. And they would read the stories to the kids. Horse-drawn carriage rides, which I think are ongoing throughout the season in downtown Lake Orion.
They are, and if you haven't been on one yet, you definitely need to do it. It's a great way to take in the town.
Yeah, and so business person of the year, Wayne Haney, was in the gazebo to throw the switch on the tree.
Oh, that's great. Wayne, great recipient. He does a lot for the community.
He really does. Yeah. And so that sort of officially kicked off the holiday season here in Lake Orion. And of course, the DDA encourages you to shop local. There's all kinds of incentives and things in downtown Lake Orion to support the local mom and pop shops in Lake Orion.
I would agree. In fact, that's always during the holidays on my show. It's local business spotlights. So I bring on different local business owners because they do so much for our communities. So it's nice to be able to, all be in it together.
And, I got to say, it's been really great when I've been in downtown Lake Orion. It's really bustling. There's a lot of foot traffic. And you see people with carry-out coming out of Sagebrush or Johnny Black's. It's really been busy and active in downtown Lake Orion. And there's a lot of businesses to generate that foot traffic. So I think it's great. And I don't know if there's a vacancy right now in downtown. I think it's filled to capacity.
I think so. I haven't seen any vacancies recently.
Yeah, so we got to credit the DDA. They're
Yeah.
really doing a great job promoting the downtown.
Absolutely.
So get out there and support your local businesses. Speaking of local business, the Chamber of Commerce, they had their year-end big event just recently. They looked back on the year and they recognized business leaders and community leaders and board members. And so they do that with a luncheon and an Impact Awards where they recognize the business person of the year, entrepreneur of the year. The Rotary Club got the Beautification Award. I guess they installed a pollination garden on the Pollyant Trail.
Oh,
so they got
okay.
recognized for that. The Sheriff's Department got recognized for their work sending deputies into schools and working with kids and stuff like that. But the highlight, the thing that people are always looking forward to is the Business Person of the Year. It's kind of a big deal. The very first Business Person of the Year was John Cooper of Golling Buick GMC. I think they said it was 2009 is when they did the Business Person of the Year. And then over the years, they expanded the awards to hand out multiple recognitions. The most recent Business Person of the Year this year was Jimmy Johnson of, what's his, I'm forgetting his business. Jimmy Johnson, it's Graphic Takeover. Forgive me, Jimmy. Graphic Takeover, Jimmy Johnson, who I see at every event. He's got his little booth. And he's sort of the Lake Orion historian. He posts things on social media under the name Where Living is a Vacation. And he finds old photos and talks about the history of Lake Orion.
Yes.
So he was named Business Person of the Year, and each recipient does a little video, and usually we have them come in here to the studio record it, but Jimmy said, I have something in mind. I want to do something a little different. And I said, all right, what do you have in mind? So I ended up going to his business to shoot the video, and it turned out pretty good. And we showed it at the luncheon, and it went over really, really well. People enjoyed it. So here's Jimmy Johnson's acceptance speech as Business Person of the Year.
Well, hello, Orion neighbors. Hi, I'm Jimmy with Graphic Takeover. Nice to see you guys today. Hope everybody's having a great time at the awards ceremony today. I know I'm having a great time. The food's great. I'm sincerely grateful for this honor being chosen as Business Person of the Year. Thank you to the Chamber staff, from leadership to ambassadors, and all the businesses that make up such an important organization. I met so many amazing people along my Chamber journey. Thanks to the GT team for all your support and passion for the brands that we support and grow. And a special thank you and a huge sorry to my family and friends that have had to put up with my crazy thoughts and ideas growing Graphic Takeover. Growing a company is not easy though. Growing a branding agency is even harder. I want to clear up some misconceptions though about us graphic designers though. First, coffee. Yes, we do drink a lot of coffee, but really we only need 1 cup of coffee a day. Ah, thank you. See, just 1 cup a day. All I need. But also, the other misconception is that we just draw pretty pictures all day. No, that is not the case. There's a lot of research that we do before we draw those pretty pictures. We research what the customer's wants and needs are, and also figure out who they're targeting. Then we whip out the crayons and utensils and the computer programs to make those pretty pictures possible. The last misconception about graphic designers is that we spend way too long concepting and not getting anything done. But We do. We play hard and work hard all day to make sure that creative process is not impeded at all. Again, thank you everyone for nominating me and choosing me as your Business Person of the Year, and look forward to meeting more businesses and meeting more people in the Chamber in 2023. Thank you.
So congratulations to Jimmy Johnson, well deserved.
Congratulations.
He's a great guy, and like I say, he's at every event that I go to in the community. So another thing that recently happened the night before the big parade is the Holly Jolly Folly, which is the big fundraiser for the parade, helps keep it going.
Yes.
And Dowling Buick GMC hosts it every year. They donate their space and provide all the food and drink and entertainment, and that's a major event where anybody who's anybody shows up at this event. And
it's amazing what they do with that dealership. You would never guess that where they set up all of the tables is where they also fix vehicles, and because it's spotless.
Yeah, the showroom is where they have the silent auction, and then there's dinner and everything in the back. So here's a piece I put together featuring the Holly Jolly Folly and a couple of sneak peek highlights from the parade, which we're going to be showing in its entirety within the next day or so on ON TV. But here's a little sneak peek of what we covered this past weekend.
On the evening of Friday, December 2nd, the who's who of Lake Orion gathered at Dowling Buick GMC for the annual Holly Jolly Folly. Those in attendance enjoyed a buffet dinner courtesy of Italia Gardens. Christmas music was provided by Rockin' Ronnie and the Lake Orion High School Choir. Ticket sales and a silent auction helped raise money for the Orion Lighted Christmas Parade.
We work on this continuously, getting different things together, silent auction prizes and such, and then the committee works on the parade. They do a fantastic job. It's a tireless job, but it's also one that we all love to do. And I don't think any of us would not do it.
You know what, it's fun. The bottom line is it's fun, and it's really fun to do things in our community, for our community, and this is really what it's all about, right? It becomes grassroots stuff, the community comes together, and it's really great. And we've been through a couple tough years, and this is a celebration coming out of some of that stuff.
I can't thank John Cooper and Gollings enough. They are not only the presenting sponsor of the parade, they also pay for everything here. So it's a great event. I know John Cooper loves to do it, and we love having it here, and the family here at Gollings. I mean, we couldn't have done it without them. I mean, we had our oil change kids, our mechanics, guys in the body shop. We're all here today setting up, tearing down, cleaning up. Can't have enough help from the Italia Gardens. They're doing a great job. So we love it, and we love doing it here at Gollings. So as my Golling cap is, as far as I know, we're going to be doing this for a while.
24 hours later, residents lined the streets of downtown Lake Orion for the start of the Orion Lighted Parade. Participants assembled at Blanchton's Elementary School and made their way onto Flint Street at 6 p.m. The police department's 1941 police car led the way as the parade turned onto Anderson Street, Front Street, then north on Broadway, right through the heart of downtown. 70 registered entries included local businesses and community organizations, as well as marching bands and dance groups. Plus, 40 to 50 costume characters passed by the main stage where Dowling Buick GMC's John Cooper and Rockin' Ronnie provided the commentary. And of course, Santa and Mrs. Claus were at the rear of the parade to officially usher in the holiday season.
I think it means the kickoff. I think it means the kickoff to the holiday season. It's a couple hours where you can go there, stand there, hopefully you don't freeze, but your mind's away from what's going on in the world. I mean, we had tragedy last year, and we did the parade, and we thought that it helped a lot, and we believe that a lot of people look forward to the parade to start their holiday season.
Oh, you're very kind. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank you, Santa. Thanks for coming back to Lake Orion. We love you.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
The parade came to an end at the Eamon Center, and Santa and Mrs. Claus made their way over to Village Hall on Church Street, where they posed for photos and listened to the children's Christmas wishes.
So another great parade. It was a little windy, but it wasn't too cold.
Nope.
I was kind of screened by the stage, so I didn't have to worry about the wind too much. But dare I say, best ever. It was just a fantastic parade. You said you made it this year?
I did,
for the
yeah.
first
I
time
do
in-
make it most years because
Yeah.
I live at the end of the parade route. So
Yeah.
it's really easy for me to just walk out my front door and be in the midst of all of it. So
Yeah. One
Yeah,
thing
it
I
was
noticed
great.
when I walked from where I was over to Village Hall, where Santa was meeting the kids,
Yeah.
all those historical homes in the village and on Broadway were all decorated, and you could
Yes.
see the trees and those windows. It was just really
they
beautiful.
do
really
a lot of my
small-town
neighbors
Christmas.
do a beautiful job of
Yeah.
decorating. So I'm
And
a little
also,
bit past that, but
And also located
Yeah.
in the village, of course, is the Orion Art Center, and we have Holly and Erin joining us now from the Art Center.
Thank you for
Welcome.
having us.
yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for joining us. The Art Center, I love the Art Center.
Yeah, long history in the village. It was established in 1979 to serve the art community and bring arts and culture to Lake Orion, which we need. And 30 years later, they wanted to do something to celebrate the milestone, and so Dragon on the Lake was created with Chalk Art Challenge, and the boat races came the following year, and so the Art Center's had a huge impact on Lake Orion. And when did you join the Art Center?
Thanks for having us, Joe.
Sure.
In May, I started on part-time helping out, and I have grown into the director role recently, and I've learned so much about the Art Center. And I grew up in Lake Orion. I moved away for several years, but came back and found this, organization. I'm like, how did I not know this as a child growing up? But the things we do in the community and the way we're trying to bring art to everyone, it's really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we do what we can here to help get the word out. And you guys have shows and exhibits and all
Yes.
sorts of stuff going on. And something that's going on right now, which kicked off on November 17th with the opening reception, is the holiday market. Talk about that.
Yep, so our holiday market is, it's a small fundraiser for the Art Center, but we really want to feature artists in our community. And this year we have over 30 artists that have their artwork in our gallery in downtown Lake Orion. It's right next to the trail. It's a beautiful little house. We have this nice Christmas feel to it, and it's amazing how we take a gallery and it transforms into this market, this store. You would never have thought art gallery walking in. It's a little store now. But Erin's one of our vendors at the holiday market. She's also one of our potters. So artists come, they bring their artwork, and they sell it from all the way November to the December 23rd. We're open. So.
And I've been to the holiday market. You can get some
Yeah.
great things, great Christmas gifts, because it's art pieces, and a lot of times you have jewelry makers, and there's such a variety. We have some video here of the house and the shop. But if you haven't been to the holiday market, it's a must hit on your list this year for holiday shopping.
Very unique items, and I laugh because every time I go into work, I'm buying more items from the holiday market. I'm like, is it worth going into work? Like, this is costing me a lot of
Why are you sending me a bill instead of a paycheck? Right?
Exactly, and you keep, like, everyone that's they come back and they're like, I didn't see this last time. Like, there's so many little items there that you kind of go over and then come back and you're like, this is awesome. And we are changing things. People have brought new things in as items have sold, so it's always changing.
I think you mentioned that the potted plants on the front porch, were those up for sale too?
They are, yep. Everything outside. And those are actually made by an artist. Her name's Darby, and she volunteers her time and materials to do all of the pots in downtown Lake Orion, the beautiful arrangements you see on the corners. So she's very talented. These pine cones she gets are from, like, out west. They're just the most amazing pine cones you can imagine. I'm like, I can't imagine a pine cone being that pretty on my porch, and she makes it look just wonderful every year. She brings these pots out.
So you said that the sales of the art not only benefit the artists, but the art center as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, so it's, we do a commission with the artists, and the vendors and artists are so generous with that, and it really gets us through these winter months because, a nonprofit fundraising is just a huge part of the art center, and that's when Art and Flower comes in downtown Lake Orion and Dragon on the Lake. So this smaller fundraiser gets us through to that. It helps pay for our instructors and our different programming we use throughout the year. All of our fundraising goes into just bringing art into the community.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you offer classes. What do you have coming up?
So we just posted our winter classes. We have a ton of pottery classes, acrylic and watercolor, all entry level and intermediate. A lot of the pottery classes are all levels. We have people call the gallery constantly like, I've never done a pottery class. I'm like, you'd be amazed at what you leave this class with, because a lot of people are like, I can't do that. I'm like, you can. You just sit there with your little piece of clay, and by the end, it's this beautiful, piece of work, and then you're signing up for the next class because you're just growing your skill after skill. So a lot of our classes are pottery, but we're also featuring, trying to bring a lot more kids programming into the art center, and that has a lot to do with fundraising, being able to pay the instructors to do the classes and make it an affordable price for kids. So we do have a couple children's art classes coming up, and we're also already starting to talk about our camps this summer. We're trying to have a lot more summer camps available for the kids in the community.
That's
awesome.
fantastic. And the pottery classes, those fill up fast. So I kind of wish I had gotten the tip before we went live, because I've been trying to get into one of those classes. So I just think that sounds like so much fun. And I have no experience, zero, but just something about working with the clay and learning how.
Where are those held? Are those at the Art Center or off-site?
So we have two locations. We have the gallery downtown where the market is, but most of our classes are at the old Moose Tree Nature Preserve in front of Weber Elementary. So that's our studio. It's a full functioning, state-of-the-art pottery studio, along with a painting portion, and we also do all of our private events there. We're also focusing really big on troops, Girl Scout, Boy Scout troops coming in. We're developing a whole program, welcoming the troops in and getting them so they can earn patches. So we partnered with the Girl Scouts of Southeast Michigan. We're looking to include the Boy Scouts too. So we're just really trying to grow community and make the Art Center available to everyone.
Yeah, and speaking of everyone, you've had classes as well for those with special needs, teens and children with special needs, which I think is fantastic because there needs to be more available to everyone. So,
absolutely. Yeah, the Art Center is a pretty unique space. There not a lot of communities have a studio like this. So again, we want to welcome everyone into it. If you want to come and you have a group of individuals that want to do a class, we will accommodate and make a program that's right for your your genre or your medium, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It's funny when you were talking about people saying, well, I've never done pottery before. We do classes here. We do video production classes, and usually the very first week people are like, I've never done this before. And it's like, that's why you're taking the classes. We'll teach you how to do it. And by the time it's over, they're having a blast and they love it. So I'm sure you can relate to that.
Oh yeah, and one of the best gifts you can give somebody is an art class, because we all have that desire to create art, and a lot of people are held back by, I'm not talented in that way. But if you're giving someone a class, you're signing them up, and then they can discover what really they can do. They might flop, but they might love it.
Yeah.
And how cool would it be to give somebody a handmade gift this holiday season?
Yeah.
That would be better than anything you could buy at the store.
Oh yeah, ask all my friends.
Yeah.
Anyone they're all getting it. Yeah. Anyone that comes over, I'm like, here's a mug I made. They're like, you already gave me a mug. I'm like, here's another mug.
Do a set.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. And then something else you do year-round is you have exhibits and shows. What do you have coming up?
Our newest exhibit that's coming up in March, we just announced it on Facebook. It's a partnership with the Orion Township Public Library. And it's really cool. We haven't done a partnership like this in a while, before me anyway, so it's my first one. We're partnering with Dan Major in the Adult Services Department with his Makerspace. And when you sign up, you get a copy of the book, Mexican Gothic. You read the book, and whatever you're inspired in the book, it could be the setting, it could be the character, it could be a word in the book. Whatever you take out of this book, you go and you create art, and you feature one item from the maker space, and you can enter the exhibition. So that's all posted online, and it's going to be a traveling exhibition where it starts at our gallery downtown. We'll have an opening like we always do, drinks, and you invite your family to see your art. It'll be there for about a month, and then it moves over to the library where they'll have it on display for a month.
What a great partnership.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
That's
What
in
other
February.
shows do you have throughout the year? I know there's been a photography show and there's portraits and pottery. Do you have your calendar laid out for 2023 yet?
We are working very hard on our calendar right now. We do want to focus more on kids shows. We used to have a scholarship, the Joan Brace Scholarship, that it kind of has taken a little bit of a back shelf with all the COVID and everything the past couple of years, but we're hoping to bring that back this year, which is a scholarship fund for high schoolers. But we're also going to do a class or an exhibition for K through 8. There's recycled art exhibitions, there's portraits and pottery. With our Art and Flower Festival, we do a Life in Bloom, which it's all mediums can come and enter their art. So I think we're probably going to have around 8 to 10 shows in 2023.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, Joan Brace, she was one of the founding members of the Art Center, and you offer a scholarship. So I think I've seen those submitted works on display at the library. So when a student submits work for the Joan Brace Scholarship and show, they're competing for a scholarship, right?
Right, yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the Art Center does fund the scholarship, and then we also look for partners in the community that can donate scholarships also. It's a partnership, and like I said, we try to get the community involved in the Art Center as much as possible, especially when we're supporting our youth artists and that are going to be out in the world creating art and making it a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So if someone wants more information on everything that's going on, how do they go about doing that?
They can always email us at info@orionartcenter.org, but social media is Facebook, Instagram is a good place to check us out. Classes are all posted on our website, but I'm the one behind the email, so if you ever have a question, I'm there answering it. So
Yeah. And the website looks fantastic.
Thanks.
Do you have someone dedicated to keeping that up to speed?
It's a group effort.
Group
It's
effort.
and it's a learning process. We have someone that's like, oh, I have an idea to put this on the website, and I'm like, well, I've never done that before. Let's, watch a YouTube video on how to do this website. So it's a learning process, and the great thing about the Art Center is there's a lot of volunteers. The board is all volunteer, so the people putting their time and energy into this really love the Art Center. So if something comes up that you want to do, the goal is always to make it happen. If you have an idea, we can do it.
Yeah, a lot of the events that I cover throughout the year, like Dragon on the Lake and all that, I see the board members there. I have met most of them, and it's nice to have an active board that's involved with the events. I know sometimes there are boards that are just sort of hands-off and they go, you do it, but it's really great to see that you have an active board.
Very active, yeah. I mean, I have my phone's connected to one board member daily helping me with, but I have this idea. She's like, yeah, run with it, we'll help you out with it. So it's a great
They're
board.
so supportive.
Yeah. Erin, you've been kind of sitting there quiet. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to throw out?
Everything she said. It is pretty amazing that she just came on. Did you say May? It's incredible what she has done in these few short months. She has really organized us, which we really needed. And just really, I'm here to support, but also just to say how much I love the Pottery Studio. It really has been, I started coming just over a year ago, and now I'm a Dragon Fire member, so I can come anytime I want. I started with a charcuterie board class, which I believe that it's in the new classes.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe I made that. You know what I mean? From a lump of clay. So it just makes you feel good. It's a great place for camaraderie. The people that go there, I mean, I've developed really great friendships, and it's so fun to just create in a nice and supportive environment, and it's so close right in Lake Orion, and that includes, I mean, they have glazes, they fire your things, they teach you, everybody. I've just started working on the wheel, which is really exciting, and they have a wheel class, and I think I'm going to take Kelly's for bigger pieces, but really it's just a really neat place, and getting art out into the community is so important because it's good for the soul.
Definitely is. Well, I think since you have control over the website, maybe you're just going to have to add my name to the list before anybody else goes and it fills up again. So,
That's right.
it sounds like a great time. And yeah, I mean, like you said, we all have that creative desire within us. And so it's just having the confidence and the instruction on what to do with that desire.
And once you get that instruction, there's different memberships and things you can do. To come in, we have these open studio times about 4 times a week. And it's just open, so you come and you do your thing, you just create.
Oh, that's
I've seen the pottery wheel at like Dragon on the Lake. There's always demonstrations
Yeah.
on the street there, and I always see that and go, "That's pretty cool. I'd like to try that sometime."
Well, there you go.
Come
Joe.
on in.
Maybe that'll be one of our episodes. We'll come
Yeah.
in and
Hey, I
create
would love
something.
that. Yeah, that'd be
Pottery
great.
thing right here in the
There
studio.
you go.
Our wheel classes do fill up fast. We do have some spots, but along with the wheel classes, we have the charcuterie board, make a mug, a lot of things you can make off of the wheel that a lot of people don't realize that it's not even made on the wheel. So there's a lot you can do with it. And like I said, we're starting to focus more on younger people too, to try to get them in the studio. Art's just such a great thing for, if you're in a bad mood. I do this with my kids a lot of times if they're going at it and they're having a bad day. It's like, let's sit down and do an art project, and by the time it's done, everyone's happy and they're proud of what they made, and there's no more yelling at your little sister, and
There
it's
you go.
kumbaya.
It's
So,
therapeutic.
yeah,
Peace.
very.
My kids took the pottery class and they loved it.
Yeah.
It was like a kids camp, and it was great.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, thanks for coming down, and make sure to visit OrionArtCenter.org and visit the holiday market Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Yep,
is that
11 to 7.
correct? All right, and that's running up through Christmas week.
Yep,
23rd.
December 23rd.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you
out.
so much
Yeah,
for
thanks
having us.
so much.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to go to Evelyn Doyle, who is a longtime volunteer here at ONTV, a senior citizen who went through our video production classes and became one of our best and most beloved producers here at ONTV. So here's a little story time with Evelyn.
Hello, this is Evelyn, and I have a holiday story for you. It is called Susie and the Christmas Goose. Christmas star. It was Christmas Eve. Susie Goose and her friends were gathered around the tree. Her friends, the cow, the pig, and the donkey. They're all gathered around the tree. It was beautiful, but it was missing one thing. It needs a star on top, honked Susie. Just like that. Bright one in the sky. I will get it. Susie dived off the top of the hill and flew whoosh high up into the sky. But it was not quite enough. Splat! Never mind, honked Susie. I have another plan. She saw a fence. She climbed to the top, stretched up very, very high, and jumped. But it was not quite high enough. Splat! She saw a pile of logs. She climbed to the top, stretched up very, very high, and jumped. But it was not quite enough. Splat! She decided to walk to the star. The wind was blowing, the snow was falling, it was getting late. She walked and walked and walked. She was tired. It is Christmas Eve. I cannot reach the star, and I am very far from home, she thought. Susie Goose was alone. She was lost. Then she heard sounds in the distance. They were sounds she knew. Ding, honk, ding, honk. Susie honked back. Ding, honk. Then she hurried towards the sounds. Ding, honk. She went past the logs. Ding, honk. over the fence, ding honk, and back up the hill. Hee haw, moo moo, oink oink. Susie's friends were happy to see her, and Susie was happy to see her friends. Then she noticed that some of the other geese were staring up at the sky. Susie turned around and saw that the star was shining right above the Christmas tree. It was almost like magic. Merry Christmas, ding honk, honked Susie Goose. Merry Christmas. God bless every one of you.
You know, it's kind of funny. Evelyn, who hosted that segment, she came through our video production classes as a member of the senior center, and we did like a daytime class for seniors. And I remember on the first day of our classes, she said, "I don't know if this is for me. This is over my head." And I said, "Well, go through it, have fun. You're going through with friends." And when she finished the classes, she's like, "I love this." And she directs for us, she produces. She was our producer of the year one year, and she's been very, very active at ONTV. So it's one of our biggest success stories that she went from, "I don't know if this is for me," to being an active.
It's just like what we were talking about. You just need to have the confidence, you know, with the instruction, to have the confidence, and then, you have fun with it.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of fun, Jennifer Vezina from Orion Township Parks and Rec is here. And, you know, I mentioned at the top of the program that there's so much going on in the community, and it's their fault. They're doing a lot of stuff that keeps me busy and gives the community lots to choose from, lots to do.
Something
so,
for
Jennifer,
everybody.
That's right.
Something for everybody.
Thanks for being here. And
Thank you for having me.
Now, we were going to talk about Breakfast with the Grinch, which is this weekend, but it is sold out.
Sadly,
What
it
a
is
popular
sold
event.
out.
Yeah.
So, green eggs and ham, the whole 9 yards with the Grinch. But if you don't have tickets,
then buy them in advance next year.
Yeah. Usually those events, they sell out quickly.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. But that's a fun event. I'll be there shooting video, but yeah, that's a fun event. So what else do you have besides Breakfast with the Grinch?
Well, if you're an Orion resident, you probably got this in the mail. And this has everything that we have to do. Everything. So go through it carefully, page by page. What we have coming up the soonest is the Made in the Minute pop-up market. Yes. Very similar to what the Art Center is doing, only it's one day only from 3 to 7 on Thursday. And I have local artists that will all have a little table, and you can sell, or you can buy your locally produced things. And then, there's some video footage right there. That's it.
That's great. I've been getting I got the Facebook notification for the event, and so I have it on my calendar, and I love it. I love that you do that and send it to us. So if we didn't happen to see it in the magazine, then we get it through another medium.
Yeah. So what's the requirement for a vendor to take part in Made in the Mitten?
They have to hand make their items locally.
Okay.
They can't be mass produced. They can't be opening up bags and selling things that way. They have to be handmade locally. That's really the only restriction.
That's great.
And there's a submission process?
They submit an application. I make sure I don't have too many of similar vendors. I try and make sure that there's lots of different things to choose from, because I like to shop those too.
It's kind of nice. You get to see, what do I need to buy this season?
Right. We're going to have maple syrup. Are we going to have honey? We're going to have all that good stuff, right? So I just make sure that there's a good variety, it's good quality, it's handmade locally, and then they're in.
That's great.
Yeah, like the Art Center's holiday market, if you're looking for unique, one-of-a-kind gift ideas.
These are things you're not going to find on Amazon.
Right.
So that's this upcoming Thursday, right?
day after tomorrow.
Day after
Yes,
tomorrow.
yes.
So yeah.
So
And
write
these
it down in your planner.
Yeah, these are great gifts too. If you're going to a holiday party, you can go and pick something up that would be a nice, unique gift to give. So
Yeah. And that kicks off at 3 o'clock?
3 to 7. So on your way home from work, when you're out running errands, stop in. Free admission, no parking, of course.
Great.
And do some shopping.
That's great.
When you say no parking, no parking fee.
No parking fee.
Yeah.
No, we have plenty of
Plenty of
parking.
parking.
Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, plenty of parking.
I'm like, where am I going to park on Thursday? So yeah, that's right here at the Orion Center on Thursday. So check it out. And then what do you got after that?
Quickly after that is the Snow Dash if you're a runner. We have the Snow Dash 5K, which will start and end here at the Orion Center, go out onto the trail. It's a nice little 5K loop. There's some footage right there from previous years. Hit or miss whether or not we'll have snow. But
what do you find the runners, do the runners mind the snow, or does it
No.
make for treacherous
they don't.
running?
I mean, you see people in shorts.
Yeah,
Because as a runner, you dress for 20 degrees warmer because your body temperature is going to make up the difference. So if it's 50 degrees outside, you're going to dress for 70 degrees. If it's 30 degrees outside, you're going to dress for 50. So you're going to dress in comfortable gear. No,
It's
they
so
don't mind
scenic,
at all.
too.
You don't get all hot and sweaty and gross. It's a
Yeah.
lot more comfortable to run in the snow.
And everybody gets a medal at the end?
I should have brought one. I just got them today in the mail.
Oh,
They're
okay.
adorable. They're
it's
little
the
snowflake.
18th, so I'm going to have to because one of my daughters is a runner and she'll be home from college by then. So
She'll want to check it out. It's,
Yes,
it's
she
a
will.
beautiful course. Beautiful
It
course.
really is. It's very scenic.
Yes. Yeah.
And so the runners go to Civic Center Park,
Yep.
turn around, come back to the Orion
That's pretty
Center.
much it. They go down the course south, cross over Green Shield, cross over Scripps, do a little turnaround, and come on back.
And this is for all
All
age
ages,
levels.
all abilities. If you can't run it, come out and walk it.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Now I see something new on your calendar of events. What is Bubble Show Magic? What's
That is brand new this year. We have this wonderful young lady who loves to do bubbles with children. She's come to a couple of our events.
Did I see her at the Halloween event?
Yes,
the Boo
you
Bash?
saw her at the Boo Bash, and
Okay.
she was also at Family Festival of Fun at
Yeah,
Camp
yeah.
Agawam.
Kids
She's
love
just
that.
amazing with these bubbles. So that's a brand new event. Don't have any footage of that because it's brand new.
If I would have made the connection, I did shoot some video at Boo Bash where she. Oh, there's one of the medals.
Look at that!
Yes, and ye shall
When we
receive.
Look at that.
Yes.
Tessa, let's take a look at
All
this medal
Here
here.
we go.
There it is.
So you will receive
That is
one
a
of these at the
fun
finish
medal.
line.
As you cross the finish line. Isn't that
That's
fantastic?
beautiful.
I'm
Isn't
not
it
a
adorable?
runner,
Look
but
at that.
maybe walk it to get one of those.
Yep. Registration is simple. You go online and register. You can register in person at the Orion Center. It's $15 per person.
I'm running all over the place that day. I think I might take this. So, but yeah, the bubble maker, she lays like ropes and stuff in a big thing of bubble stuff.
And she can put you in a bubble.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah. So
Ooh.
yeah, the kids love that.
Yeah.
So,
That is fun.
so is that a show? Is that a class? What is going on?
We actually have a show and a class.
Okay.
I believe the show is here in December and the classes are later in January.
Oh, okay.
So if you have youngsters, they want to learn how to do some bubble magic, they can take the class or just show up and have a good time at the large show.
All right, so that falls between Christmas and New Year's on
Yep.
December 29th.
All those
6
days where you're
o'clock.
bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need something to
Everybody's
do.
home from
Good.
school
Yeah,
and
exactly.
looking for activities. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun. And then you just started this recently. Did this start during COVID, the whole snowcation thing, or was that before COVID?
That was before COVID. This is
Okay.
our third year
All right.
with Snowcation. Again, it's in the brochure. Everything's in the brochure. There's some things that we brought back because they were super popular.
Yeah.
And there's some things that are new. Let's see. What have we done before? Light up Orion, decorate your house. A lot of this stuff is done through Facebook. You just email to register, you submit pictures, and then it's a judging competition. So Light Up Orion is something that we've done before. Snow sculpture, same thing, snowman building competition. We've done that before. But
Bingo, is it car bingo?
Car bingo is a repeat, but because it's a fan favorite,
Yeah.
it's not going to be done outside.
No, where's it going to be done?
They're going to be done inside, in the
Okay.
Orion Center, in the dining room.
Okay.
So it's got a twist.
All right.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yep. We also have added a Lego design competition. So those kids who love Legos, they can design and compete in that. What else do we have? We have
Game day swap.
Game day swap. That's a oldie but a favorite. People love that, so we have to do that in the middle of winter when everybody's bored to tears.
Right.
Yep. You bring those games and those puzzles in and swap them out for new ones or new used ones.
Right. Right. Yep.
That's awesome.
Because it's a swap.
New to you.
Yes, new to you. The movie lock-in program, we added that this year. So that's a day when kids will be off of school. They can be dropped off in the morning, hang out with us, watch movies. They can bring us out lunch. We'll probably have some snacks. And then that way they can kind of hang out with their friends and not home by themselves watching movies. It's a little more
social.
A day where they'll be able to interact.
Do you pick the movies? Do you have it?
Yes, but we don't have a schedule yet. That is to come. We want to make sure we pick movies that the kids are going to want to hang out and watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, lots going on. And
lots going on.
The bingo you talked about Wednesday, December 28th at 1 p.m. That's free to the public?
That's free. We just ask that you do pre-register because we need to know how many materials to make.
Sure.
We don't want to make materials for 300 people if only 200 people are going to show up. We don't want to make materials for 100 people and have 200 people show up. So
and those that get bingo, what do they win?
Well, I don't know. It's a surprise.
Oh, like a swag bag, little gift bag.
Come on, Joe.
I'm trying to get him over here. I'm trying to get him out.
I don't oversee that program. Actually, Chelsea does, and I believe she gets some donated items. I believe she'll have some raffle prizes, some maybe area restaurants, some things of that nature. So there's usually some good stuff in there.
All right. If people want to find out more about all these events, where do they go?
They go to orionparks.com. Orionparks.com has all the details on all of this, because I do have a tendency to talk really, really fast and blur together all of the details, but everything is there. Or go to your handy-dandy brochure. Don't throw this out. Keep it.
Yeah, they're in
because
every
you're going to
mailbox,
want
right?
it.
Yes.
Tons of stuff in here.
And you're very active on social media. I see all
Very.
kinds of event updates and listings
Yep.
on Facebook and stuff like that. So
We
if
try.
you don't follow them on Facebook, do that to get all the updates.
Yep.
So awesome. Well, it's going to be a fun holiday season.
Super duper fun.
Yes.
Jen, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And you'll see me at a lot of these events.
I'll see you
be there.
Saturday.
I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. All right. We are now going to send you over to Joey Tysick, who has an update for you on winter sports.
Great.
Hello and welcome back to the Lake Orion Sports Update. I'm your host Joey Tysick, and today we are kicking off our first episode of the winter season. Today we will cover girls basketball, boys basketball, and hockey. The varsity girls basketball team is coming off of their first district title since 2010, and Coach Bob Bridges has a team full of seniors this year as they are looking to repeat and see if they can compete with some of the best in the state. To start off their season, they welcomed in the crosstown rival Oxford Wildcats into Dragon Fieldhouse on November 29th. The Dragons came out right away with some fire as Kylie Heck hit a three to open the game for the Dragons. Heck hit another three to end the quarter as well, as Lake Orion had an 8-5 lead after one. The Dragons were able to continue that lead as the patented Bridges defense held Oxford in check and the Dragons led 22-17 at the half. To start the second half, Oxford hit 3 3-pointers as Lake Orion got one from Heck, but the Wildcats had the lead 26-25 early into the half. As soon as Oxford took that lead, though, it seemed like Lake Orion settled down and locked in on defense, surging back ahead as they finished the third quarter leading 37-31. Oxford did have one more run in the fourth quarter, but Lake Orion held strong and finished off the game, winning 50-41 to start the season. Kylie Heck finished with 17 points, while Chloe Wiegers and Maddie Ebert finished with 9 each. Lake Orion will now play Pontiac tomorrow night at home once again, and then will head to Oakland University's Arena to play Lutheran Northwest on Friday night. The varsity boys basketball team ended their season last year with a loss to Rochester Adams in the district finals. They lost some key pieces from the roster, but will once again be expected to compete in the always difficult OAA Red. They will open up their season with an away game against Oxford. And the big question for the Dragons will be who is going to step up this season to replace the seniors from a year ago. Will it be DJ Morrow, Nate Havrilla, Blake Liddell, or maybe somebody else? We will have to just wait and see as they open their season with a tough schedule in the coming weeks. The Lake Orion varsity hockey team finished last season with a loss in the regional finals against the eventual state champion Detroit Catholic Central. The Dragons hockey team has been a powerhouse for a while now, and this year should be no different. One of the leaders of the team, Sam Haynes, is back and already has been filling up the stat sheet with 8 goals, 9 assists, and 17 points in just the first 5 games of the season. The Dragons opened the season against Canton on November 18th and won 11-0. Then, the following day, they played at home against a very good Marquette team and lost 1-3. Lake Orion then traveled to Stony Creek on November 26th and won that one 9-2 after scoring 4 goals in the opening period. They went on the road again to play Utica Eisenhower, who made a regional semifinal a year ago. This game was wild as Lake Orion scored 2 goals in the first period, and then Ike responded with 4 goals in the second. In the third period, Lake Orion tied the game up at 5 and went into overtime. Both teams stymied the other as at the end of overtime, no one had scored, resulting in a tie. Finally, this past weekend, Lake Orion faced University Liggett at home and beat them 4-2. The Dragons' record now sits at 3-1-1 to open the season, and they have a huge game against rival Clarkston, who has started the season undefeated. ONTV cameras will be there to cover all the action, and we will update you on the next episode. For even more Lake Orion sports, check out our YouTube channel for our full game coverage. Visit youtube.com and search for Orion Neighborhood Television, and also make sure to catch all of our replays Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m., along with Saturdays at 1 p.m. We'll see you next time.
All right, lots of high school sports going on this time of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, lots to see, and the Dragons excel at all of them. We've talked about so many events coming up in the community, but here's Becky with a recap and this week's quick hits to let you know what else is happening in Lake Orion over the next couple of weeks.
The Oakland County Farmers Market is hosting a holiday market this Wednesday from 3 to 7 p.m. Shop for decorations, crafts, and specialty food items while enjoying roasted marshmallows, wagon rides, and holiday music. Santa's reindeer and elves will be visiting the market from 3:30 to 6:30. There's still time to register for the Mommy and Me cookie decorating class hosted by the Township's Parks and Rec Department. You will learn the basics of cookie decorating as you create 5 seasonal themed designs to take home. The class will take place this Wednesday at Friendship Park beginning at 5 o'clock. Register at orionparks.com. On Saturday, the Orion Library will be hosting a winter workshop for the whole family from 11 to 1. Drop into this open house to celebrate the start of winter. Activities include fun photo ops, hot chocolate, snacks, games, and crafts. All ages are welcome. Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift for someone special? Stop by the Orion Arts Center's Holiday Market. The market features 30 artists from the local area. Shop the Holiday Market on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays now through December 22nd. The market is open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Registration is now open for the Orion Parks and Rec Snow Dash. The 5K race will take place at the Orion Center on December 18th. The race starts at 9 a.m. and check-in begins at 7:30. For more information, visit orionparks.com. Well, looks like we're in for a cloudy week ahead of us. Wednesday forecast is calling for cloudy skies with a high of 45 and low of 32. Cloudy again on Thursday with a high of 42 and low of 30. Snow showers on Friday with a high of 36 and low of 26. Partly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 38 and low of 27. And partly cloudy again on Sunday with a high of 40 and low of 30. Well, that's it for this week's ONTV Quick Hit. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Becky. Like we said, so much going on in the Lake Orion area. It's really great to see. And, with the past few years that we've had, it's really great when I go to these events. Everyone just seems so glad to be out and active, and lots of hugs and handshakes, and we're getting back to some sense of normalcy.
Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Now, just recently, I was sitting at home and I was in a group text that someone had started, and we started our annual discussion about what's a Christmas movie. What is the definition of a Christmas movie? Because the one that always seems to come up that generates fierce debate is Die Hard. People are, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Right. And I'm done arguing whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. If you want to watch Die Hard at Christmas time, that's your prerogative. I love Die Hard. I don't know if I consider it a Christmas movie.
Christmas movie, right? Yeah, right. Is it because it's set at Christmas time, or is it because it is about Christmas?
Yeah, it should have a feel. What's your go-to? What does you and your family like to watch this time of the year?
Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, that one, it's so funny. I mean, how can you not enjoy that movie? That's one of them. You know, although last night on TV came up Home Alone and Home Alone 2, which that again could be, is that a Christmas movie? Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's set during Christmas time, but yeah. So, how about yours? What's yours?
My number one. I saw it in theaters when it came out. Not a lot of people can say this. It came out around 85, I think, or 83, somewhere around there. Is A Christmas Story, and one of the things people don't realize about A Christmas Story is that it arrived in theaters before Thanksgiving and was out of theaters in just a few weeks, so it didn't even make it to Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And so a lot of people who now have grown up watching it on TBS and the 24-hour marathons, they're like, oh, was that in the theaters?
Yeah, I didn't know it was ever in the theaters.
It was a very brief window, and I saw it in the theaters, and it became my all-time favorite Christmas movie, and I visited the locations. I've been to the Christmas Story house in Cleveland. If you haven't been, go check it out. The story goes that there's this guy, he made his fortune selling the leg lamps.
Okay, yeah.
And with the money that he made from the leg lamps, he found out that the house was up for sale on eBay, of all places.
Wow.
And so he bought the house, turned it into a tourist attraction, and ended up buying several more homes on that block and turned those into museums and gift shops. So you can go into these gift shops and buy the Red Ryder BB gun and all the little things that you saw in the movie. And so it's really, really fun. And not too far from the Christmas Story house is the Castle Noel, which is a Christmas museum. And one of the things that they got as an exhibit at the museum is the giant slide from A Christmas Story.
Oh.
The actual slide.
Wow.
It was on display in the department store in Cleveland for a long time. And when it closed, the museum got it. And so you can go up there, talk to Santa, and then his mean elves push you down the slide. So if you're a fan of A Christmas Story, go check out those attractions. That's really, really fun.
That is great. Now, did you watch a few years ago when they did that newer version of A Christmas Story? It was kind of a musical. It was really interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't understand it, actually.
I avoided that stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you've seen, there's a new sequel that just was released just a few weeks ago.
I haven't seen it, but I did hear about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think it's called A Christmas Story Christmas. And what's cool about it is that a lot of the original actors have come back for the sequel.
That's great.
So Peter Billingsley, who played Little Ralphie in the original, is back as a father, and he has a couple of kids. And he goes back to his hometown to celebrate Christmas with his mother, who's played by a different actress. I was a little disappointed that they couldn't talk the original actress to come back and play that role, so they recast the role of the mom. But as I was watching it, at first I was like, boy, I don't know about this because I love the original so much. But then I got into it, and after it was over, I said, you know what, that's a pretty worthy sequel. So if you have Netflix, check out the Christmas Story sequel, A Christmas Story Christmas. It was a lot
there's
of fun.
something I feel when they can bring back the original or the majority of the original cast because it brings that nostalgia, you know.
Yeah.
So, like it's a continuation.
Yeah.
So,
and like you, I love Christmas Vacation. I saw that in the theater when it came out, and I laughed hard. And so that's a go-to.
Yeah.
And then there's some old classics that I like watching. Like a year or so ago, I watched all the Scrooge variations.
Okay.
That's been done a dozen or more times.
Many, many times.
I like watching those. I love the Muppets version. That's a great one with Michael Caine. There's a classic. It might be kind of an obscure movie, but I always tell people to check it out. It's called The Shop Around the Corner. And it was loosely remade as You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Okay.
The original has Jimmy Stewart in it, and I love it. And I try to watch it every year at Christmas time.
And is that something, can you stream it?
I'm not sure. You'd have to search and see.
I'm going to have to look because I've never even heard of that, but that sounds interesting.
It's really, really great. So.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much brings our holiday special to a close. This is the
Yeah.
last episode of 2022. We'll see you again in 2023. One thing I'll be busy with between Christmas and New Year's is I produce our ONTV newscast, and I'll be putting together the year in review. So we're going to go back and look at all the major events that helped shape Lake Orion over the past year.
That's fantastic.
So you'll see that after the
Yeah, you get to watch the review, and if you see something that you missed, then you'll have to be sure to pay attention in the new year for that event.
Yeah, and I started doing that back in the 90s. So if you go on YouTube, you can find our year in review from 94, 95, 96, 97.
Wow. Oh, it would be fun to watch and see how things have progressed over the years.
Yeah, so check it out. Tracy, if I don't see you, have a great Christmas and happy holidays and
Thank
happy
you.
New Year.
Same to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and enjoy.
Thanks for coming out, and thank you for watching, and happy holidays, happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2023.